Good morning and welcome back to day 19 of our $20,000 December challenge. We have got some frost this morning on all of the roofs, but I've got 3 jobs scheduled and so I really need to get out there and after it. So I think I'm gonna be a little bit more risky and hope that they just start to thaw out on the way to our jobs. So like I said, we have 3 jobs for today. First one is an old recurring customer. It's just a gutter cleaning, but there is a chance that I can upsell him on doing a powder treatment as we did that last year. So if I see any moss growth up there, there's a good chance I can, and I believe that was a $200 or $250 upsell. So that should end up looking really good if we can do that. I'm just hoping that I can get this day done before the sun goes down. So pretty big gutter cleaning, $400 job plus tax. And then we've also got, I went and sold one, I believe yesterday. And that one is a small gutter cleaning and doing a powder treatment with a tiny bit of moss growth that I'm gonna end up removing, but so minor that I'm not even gonna charge for it. It'll probably take me 5-10 minutes maybe. And then lastly, we have got our third job, which is actually a job that I was just at. And unfortunately the customer was not very responsive. And so I ended up having to go back there. I had originally given him a quote to do, it was a gutter cleaning. It was the scupper job that I believe I may have actually done on Friday. Single, kind of like almost double wide sized house. It was a 2-story though. And they had the scuppers versus the gutters, but the scuppers also had gutter guards. And he's also got a bit of moss growth on it. So I'm gonna have to remove a little bit of moss growth and then do a powder treatment for him. So that one should actually be pretty damn quick. It's just hoping that I can get out there before the sun goes down. Because unfortunately, one job is pretty deep into Gig Harbor, our second job is in Tacoma, and then that third job is way out in Puyallup. And so between the Gig Harbor job and the Puyallup job, we're probably talking about an hour or so, hour and 10 minutes of drive time between those 2 jobs. And then I also got that one in the middle. So they're lined up pretty decent, but I've just got to put some miles down. So anyways, the only other thing is if I end up selling a powder treatment on our first job today, then I'm actually gonna have to stop and pick up more powder. So I have to hope that there's 2 places I could potentially go, and they're not all that far out from the jobs, but it's unfortunately just gonna be an extra stop that I'm gonna have to make. So today's gonna it's looking pretty busy. And I also, worth mentioning, I got 4 new leads coming in this morning, between last night and this morning. And then I also had 10 leads come in yesterday. So I'm running this for roof cleaning. And so it's really, I mean, we're just crunched for time. And so I've got very few jobs sold. I'm gonna have to see if I can potentially, hopefully schedule something for tomorrow. But if I can't, then I'm gonna go out and do bids tomorrow. And I'm just gonna have to sacrifice one of these last 3 days of the week to do estimates. So that unfortunately after the challenge is technically over, so after the first, then I would be able to have those jobs to go and do. So unfortunately that's how it goes. And unfortunately with roof cleaning, like I'm running this roof cleaning ad, but I'm getting loads of people that only need a powder treatment, or they have like 5-10 minutes of moss growth to remove. And those jobs, like when I'm doing one of my main offers that I run is when I do a roof clean, so moss removal, I will also do, I'll do the gutters for free. And so I just work in the gutter cleaning into the price. The problem with that is that when you advertise it the way that I've advertised it, people are wanting the free gutter cleaning, right? And so I went and looked at one. I ended up selling it. That might actually be one that I can do tomorrow. But that job, he clicked on that ad for roof cleaning. I showed up, I did a little drive-by. That roof didn't have a speck of moss or debris on it. And so it's like, okay. So I was kind of surprised, if I'm being honest, that I ended up selling that job, because I've had some of those people in the past that they're just wanting something for nothing. That's what we've got for today. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get going. It is currently about 9 o'clock, I believe. Yep, it is exactly 9 o'clock right now. So I'm gonna try to get going here and hopefully make it back before it gets dark. So I'll see you at our first job. All right, we are at our first job of the day. I've actually spent some time blowing because he's been out and about, and I wanted to have a good chance to show you around. So we've got this little section goes all the way around on the bottom here. We've got gutters all around here, We've got this whole section down here. And then we've got one other section on this far side that I'll show you. But good looking tile roof. He's got a little bit of moss. He says he's gonna have me back out come springtime, and that's when I'll do the powder treatment for him. So it doesn't look like I'll end up needing to stop today for powder, but we'll see what time. Holy shit, there's a chipmunk. Look at him. So we may end up stopping if we finish early here, but we'll see. So I've already got the upper roof blown off. I'm gonna hop down to this section back here and blow that off, and then we'll be on to gutters. So it's going pretty quick. I did end up stopping and talking with him for a while. It is currently 10:50, and I've probably got, let's say, I don't know, I probably got an hour or so left, hour and a half maybe. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Taking it easy today, not rushing anything. We should be good on time. So anyways, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it. I just heard back from a customer that I had sold a job for powder treatment. I was trying to schedule him earlier this month, like at the beginning of the month, and I messaged him this morning to hopefully get him scheduled for these last day, for either tomorrow or Wednesday, and he got back with me and said, yeah, let's do it. So I just got to figure out what I want to do tomorrow, because we've not got enough jobs to do for both days. We can definitely fill up one day with $1,000 day, but I don't have enough for two quite yet. I probably have like one and maybe a third or one and a half, something like that. So there is another guy that asked for just a gutter cleaning this morning, so one of my new leads. And so I'm gonna be able to get back to him, and I'm really hoping that maybe I'll just hear back from somebody that I'd already given a quote to for roof cleaning, and then I can just fill out my days. So we'll see, but it really is coming down to the wire. It's just been difficult. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, get back to it, and I might even take a little lunch break here, but we're making good progress. So blow the rest of this off, clean out the gutters. The gutters really aren't too bad either. And then we'll be off to our second. It is currently 12:05, so I'm taking a bit of a break. I've been here, I think I've been working for probably about an hour and a half, hour and 45 or so, because I was talking to the guy in the driveway for quite a while this morning. But things are going super smooth. So I got all of the upper gutters taken care of. I got that little section on the far side taken care of, completely blown off, gutters done. And then I've got this section over here. So that's that lower section. That section is mostly blown off all the way around there, and then I ran out of gas, and so I decided to just take a break and eat and have some lunch. So we're doing good on time, but I had a really good update. So this one's actually pretty damn cool. And to be honest with you, I don't remember when I talked about it last, but I brought it up and was just essentially accepting that nothing was going to happen here. So this was while I was sitting here eating lunch, the text message that I received. So I'll show it to you. I'm not going to be able to read it, obviously, but so he said, Devin, I hope you enjoyed some quality time during Christmas. If possible, I would be most interested in cleaning the moss from the front of my house and garage. The south side of the house and garage may be completed in the summer. So I believe that what he's talking about is when you drive into his driveway, his house is shaped like an L. And so he wants, when you drive in, he wants it to look nice. So who is Jim Mills? That was this job. So nearly $6,000 job. And essentially it sounds like he just wants to do half now, half later, essentially, which we'll see what ends up happening. But the moss treatment we might end up having to do next spring. So if that's the case, then not a problem. Or not next spring. So if he waits till summer to do the second half of it, then we may just wait until next winter to do the powder treatment on it. But anyways, I was not quite honestly expecting to hear back from that guy, because that's a big bid. And that's $1,000 a day doing moss removal on a concrete tile roof. So that's a big job. But I mean, shit, that works out great for me. So, because then I'm not stuck there all damned week. Quite honestly, I like that quite a bit better. So anyways, unfortunately, it sucks. If he would have messaged me like a few days earlier, I could have knocked that out like over the weekend. And I could have got jobs lined up for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And that probably would have brought me to my $20,000 mark. So, but that's how it goes. And I'm okay with how things have gone so far. And this has really been a fun series to make. So anyways, that's pretty exciting. So I'll be messaging him back and probably getting him scheduled for sometime after the challenge. I probably won't do it this week. I'm quite honestly probably going to take a day or two off once this finishes, because I will admit this has been a lot of work, especially with all of the extra chaos that's gone on throughout this challenge with having Christmas. And another difficult part is now I've been trying to get as much work scheduled as possible, because we had that, I guess, probably 4 or 5 days or so where leads weren't coming in consistently, because the ad that I was running just didn't perform. Stopped raining, so my gutter cleaning ad stopped performing. The new ad that I made didn't perform, and then so essentially we ended up having, I guess, probably about 7 days a week or so where work was not coming in. So then having to try to play catch up. That's just kind of how it went. So anyways, I'm gonna probably hop back up here because I don't want to be stuck here all damn day. And if I can get this done, I've probably got about 30 minutes left, so that I should be able to hit my second job around 1. I also need to decide which job to hit, because I'm not doing powder on this job. I might stop and end up actually getting powder. We'll see how we're sitting on time. The next 2 jobs really should not take very long, so I'm not too concerned, but I just really don't want to be stuck out in the dark. That just sucks. So I'm going to go and get this job finished up, and I will get back with you once we are headed on to our second job. Alrighty, we are at the second job. We've got a little bit of moss growth here, a little bit over there, here, and then right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do some removing of that for him, and then blow off the roof, clean the gutters, and then do a powder treatment. So it should be pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. It is currently like 2:05, 2:10. So I want to get this taken care of here pretty quick to get onto our third job. So I'll get back with you with any updates. So that job did not go to plan. Everything went super smooth and it came out fantastic, but it took substantially longer than I was expecting. I really should have charged for the amount of moss removal that I did. And it was just not going quick by any means. There was a lot of debris up on the roof. The gutters were kind of a pain in the ass. They had the shingles overlapped into the gutters quite a bit. So anyways, ended up taking me quite a while, and I didn't get home until I believe right around 4. The sunset was at 4:30. And so that job was pretty close to my house, so it was easy to get home from. But to get to that third job would have been about a half-hour drive from where I was at, which means I would have got there at about 4:30. And there was a pretty good amount of moss removal to do on the third job as well. So unfortunately, what I've ended up doing is scheduling that third job for tomorrow morning. So I'll get that one knocked out tomorrow. I'm not super concerned about it, but just kind of frustrating that I wasn't able to get that one finished off today. So, and also with it being kind of late, it ended up making it a little bit more difficult to try and get another job scheduled for tomorrow. But be it as it may, we're going with the flow here. So that was essentially the extent of today. We got the 2 jobs done. It ended up not being nearly as good of a day as I was hoping to. So it would have ended up being right around the $950, like just under $1,000 if I had gotten that third job in there. But unfortunately, because I wasn't, today ends up coming out to $779.22, which is still fine. I'm still happy with that. That's a normal day. It's just that's not going to get us that $20,000 mark. So anyways, that's where we're at. That's really all the updates that I've got for right now. So we're going to end it here. I'm going to hopefully see you tomorrow. I appreciate you watching, and tomorrow we'll go and get that job knocked out, as well as a good gutter cleaning and powder treatment and a roof blow off and powder treatment. So we've got 3 jobs scheduled for tomorrow, so it'll end up being a pretty good day. So anyways, We're gonna leave it here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.